guys? Natasha here for another round of IGN House Call. With me, I have Adrian Lai, or better known as La Dota, and we have a very, very cool game developer with us today, the person behind Wombat Combat. We have Rico Ng.
Hi, nice to meet you. And just to correct you, it's Combat Wombat.
Oh yeah, Combat Wombat. Sorry, it rhymes, so it sounds really cool. That I just like it's like a tongue twister. You know what I'm trying to say?
It is a tongue twister.
Can you say it 10 times?
Combat Wombat, Combat Wombat, Combat Wombat, Combat Wombat, Combat Wombat, Combat Wombat. I can say it a lot of times. I practiced.
Oh man, I need to practice too. This is a really cool game. Super, I wouldn't say cute. I would say very funny, a funny kind of game. And you know what? Before we get into that, let's ask about yourself, Rico, and what Gameka is about.
Yeah, so Gameka is a company, basically a game development company, but we also do some work for hire. But ultimately, we want to make a game that's fun to play. That's also add a new twist to current genre. That's why we have Combat Wombat. It's a match 3 game, but it's competitive, as in a live PvP, which is not really that. There hasn't been any much game on this twist right now.
So can you explain to us, what Combat Wombat might be? And for those who aren't familiar with it, like say Adrian over there.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you say what might be, is basically you will. The inspiration also come from Dota. You have to draft your hero when you play standard mode. So you will see your opponent drafting their hero, and you can counter pick. Because each hero will have their own strength and abilities. So basically, it's just you will play a game of mastery with the same tile board. You will share the tile board with your opponent. So you can actually deny the opponent their tile if you see that they have a lot of green heroes and you want to deny them green. And so it's a bit of a strategic and PvP of mastery. That's what it will be.
That's amazing because match 3 games like Bejeweled and all that, it caters to the more casual crowd. And now
yes.
I suppose, correct me if I'm wrong, you're injecting an element of competition into it.
Yes, correct. So Combat Wombat will be more catered towards mid-core to hardcore.
Ooh.
Although casual player can still play it, but they might be a bit more frustrated because there are a bit more strategic thinking behind it.
Okay, so when you mention it's something to do with like Dota 2, it's like you said it was PvP, right? Is it a one-on-one or many players versus many players?
So currently it's only one-on-one, and it should only be one-on-one because that tile board can only support so many players. It's Dota in a sense because there are still 5 heroes you have to draft to fight against each other.
Okay, got it.
So, why wombats? I mean, I understand you've come up with a lot of heroes, and you could have taken a different path. Why choose animals?
Well, animals. This is something that I can't answer as well. It's just something that it just happened because of a previous game called Chrono. It also featured this guy behind me.
Oh.
So we just went with it. So we believe that Combat Wombat, the name sticks. That's why the wombat became our face. Even though there's a lot of other animals inside, so there's a bison, there's a mercodial, there's an owl, turtle, and others. Even a seal. We call him Heal Seal because he's a healer.
So cute.
Yeah. So the reason of Combat Wombat is basically because it sticks and it's something that we find it funny. It's just that.
Yeah. So it's like really funny because you guys have names like Punk Stunk and Gecko Mando. So
Yes.
How did you guys come up with these very interesting names?
Okay, so the names actually come with their skill as well and what we want them to be. So Gecko Mando is we style them to be like a commando. So Gecko, Commando, Gecko Mando. So Skunk, because our artist, the initial sketch made him a bit of a rock star. That's why we just went with the flow like, hey, this actually looks nice. Punk Skunk is good. Let's go with that.
Okay, so how many characters do you have in the game so far?
So far, there's 30.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, so there's 10 base hero, and then each hero actually can evolve. So, and then there's 20 there. So, think of it as hero tier 1. There's 2 tier 2 here.
Okay.
And each tier 2 have another 2 more,
Right.
which is not in yet.
So how do you evolve these characters?
Okay, so evolving is quite similar to any other casual game for now. You will play a match, you will get some materials, and then with that materials, let's say, because we have 5 elements, blue, green, red, yellow, and purple. So you must collect each respective shards, and then you can upgrade the heroes.
Because speaking of that, does your game come with elements of like microtransactions to speed up this evolving system?
No. So what we hate, actually our CEO hate the most was pay to win. So if you are able to speed up the evolution by paying, it's kind of pay to win because you are paying to get the best unit available. So no, the only microtransaction or IAP will be available is for skins and maybe extra sound effects.
Dang, I actually want those.
So just to help us
yes.
visualize a match in the game, right? So you have a 3 match system,
Yeah.
and then you have 2 heroes going against each other. Just give us sort of a rough idea how a match will be carried out.
Okay, sure. So at the start, there will be a flip of coin to choose who start first, and then you will see your board there is a 5x6 or 6x5, and there's actually 6 type of tiles that will be in there. So there's the yellow, blue, green, red. Sorry, I messed up the flow. Red, blue, green, yellow, and purple. And there's also one neutral. That basically, if you match that, all tiles, basically all color will do damage but 30%. This also remove the random combo they might get because there's an extra tile in there now. So at that tile, when I start first, I will have 2 moves. I can swipe twice, and then only the combo will be made. This allows you to plan ahead. Let's say if these blue tiles match now and the upcoming mouth can match above, I can actually plan that as well.
Right.
So the tiles after match will actually fly vertically up because it's a top-down view. They will fly up and hit whatever the hero is at. So your formation, how you place your hero also is quite important because you have to put the tank at the front. So they actually absorb more of the tiles instead of directly to every other heroes.
So give us an examples of the kind of skills that heroes like. Okay, let's assume that Punk Skunk is going up against Gecko Commando, right? What sort of skills are they throwing at each other, and who do you think has the upper hand in this matchup?
Okay, if Punk Skunk and Gecko Commando, there are no upper hand because their skill. Okay, Punk Skunk and Gecko Commando is in the purple hero category, which their skill is more on annoyance. They annoy and disrupt your opponent. So Punk Skunk, their tier 1 skill is gas. They will basically smoke screen the entire tile board, and then your opponent will have a hard time trying to make a match. Because there's a system where if you take longer to make a match, you actually deal less damage. So you try to delay and postpone the enemy decision making to slow down or to lower the damage output. For Gecko Commando, actually, he will steal away your buff. His skill is to steal buff. So in this matchup, there's actually not much of upper hand.
So then, if 2 players who don't have an upper hand in terms of heroes, what will you take then? Raw skill or?
Actually, the raw match tile attack.
Tile attack.
Yeah. So the tiles actually does damage as well, and there's also a counter system. So a blue color tile will do more damage towards the red color. And then the red color to the green and green to blue, while yellow and purple are just, they counter each other. So when you hit a stronger one, your counter, it actually does double damage.
I see. So basically, countering, there's 2 types of countering that in terms of colored tiles as well as heroes, then if that's the case.
Yes.
So are there like pick and bans like Dota 2 where you can pick and choose your heroes and ban certain ones?
So we have that in thoughts, but currently it's not in the game yet. It's still in discussion that do we want to have that feature in. But it does make it more interesting because you can kind of estimate or visualize what the enemy is picking, and you can ban that hero to make their life harder.
That's actually true. Okay, so far during development, have you guys faced any like horrible challenges so far? Like, what's your biggest challenge?
Server side. Because it's a live multiplayer, the server has to be very stable. If not, the player will feel frustrated while playing it. So that is our biggest challenge. So the flow of the game, everything runs fine. It's just that setting up a server, making sure the ping, everything is fine. It's currently our biggest challenge right now.
What about from the operation side of things? Let's move away from the game a little bit. Let's talk about Gameka a little bit. This company was founded in which year?
Let me think a bit. End of 2015, December 2015.
Initially, what were the sort of challenges Gameka faced as a game developer company?
Okay, the initial challenge when they started, well, I'm not there, so this is just from what I've heard, is actually designing a game. Because it's basically two business people who sat down. Making a game should not be that hard, right? And they started a company for fun. So actually, Gameka started as a hobby company, but after a few months, we actually got contracted to do a project which is called Net Worth. And that's when we actually became a full-time company and we hired more full-time designer. So actually the initial challenge would be actually just design, because it's just basically two business people who wanted to make a game for fun and found out that it's not that easy.
So how did they manage to overcome that?
Okay, this one I actually can't answer because I'm not there and I didn't really hear much about this as well.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now that we've seen, Combat Wombat. Now that we've seen Combat Wombat, which demography do you think would actually appreciate this game? Because at first I thought it would be the older community because it was kind of like, bejeweled and stuff. But then when you mentioned there are more competitive aspects to it, it's not just about the tiles. Who are you aiming for this game to be played by?
Okay, the demographic, it's not age, but it's for lifestyle. It's for people who likes competitive game, but they do not have 1 hour a day to put in Dota. So Combat Wombat is for that time when you are in transit, you have 5 to 10 minutes for a quick match. Is that.
So basically, one round takes about 5 to 10 minutes for a match.
Yes.
It's actually really short. It's pretty good. Okay, so Adrian, do you have any more questions you want to ask?
I have a ton of questions actually. So will there be a ranking system to let players know where I stand in the world or in Malaysia or in KL?
So currently no, it's in thoughts, but we haven't really hashed out the design yet on how to rank it. So the only ranking now is trophies. As you win, you get a trophy. As you lose, you lose. You will get deducted from you. It's like MMR. There's really no ranking system in that sense yet.
So if I win one game, let's say I win 10 trophies.
Yes.
If I lose a game, do I lose 10 trophies or more than that?
No, you will not lose 10 trophies. So unless you lose twice in a row, then only you will drop significantly.
Oh, okay. It's like LP in League of Legends as well. Then, if that's the case, the more you lose, the more you lose.
Yeah. So then, if you have a roster of say 30 heroes, what goes into the aspect of balancing the game to avoid certain heroes being too overpowered over others?
Balancing the game is quite hard because we're trying to make it competitive. Like we found a meta build right now that really messes up everything. Basically, if we put 5 of a tier 2 Midnight Owl together, their skills are so bad that the other opponent will just have no chance to do anything anymore.
Oh man.
So I guess because the stats actually doesn't increase depending on your tier. So as a tier 1 evolves to tier 2 and 3, the only thing that changes is the outlook of it, how they look, and also the skills. They get extra skill to be usable. So a tier 3 hero will have 3 skills instead of a tier 1 hero with only 1 skill. But we also try to make it so it's quite fair. A tier 1 hero should be able to fight against a tier 3 heroes. It's just that your skill are quite limited because you only have 5 instead of a total of 25.
So basically, if I were to queue into a game, there is a possibility that I may, as a T1, right? I may be matched with a tier 3.
Yes.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's why we have not really put in ranks there. So we might want to put it in the future where if you match with a full tier 3, maybe you might not see it. Or if you have that deck in your full list, you might not be able to match with a tier 1 that just started up.
Okay.
Are there any plans to expand the roster to include more heroes, more animals in the future?
Yes, there is. But currently, we will focus on hashing out the rest of the tier 3 first to make it so we will. If all that tier 3 go in, we will have a total of 70 heroes already.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I know when we might be seeing this game out in the market?
Yeah, if it's out in market, it's actually already out in as early access. So if you want to test the game, you can just download at Google Play Store. Sorry, for iOS, it's not available yet. So you can just search out Combat Wombat, download, and actually just try it out. Though be warned that it's quite buggy right now.
So when is it coming out fully?
Our plan for full release will be at June.
June?
Final release, yes.
That's quite soon. I'm really excited to play it.
Thank you.
Before we wrap up, I just want to know, what would you like to say to your upcoming players and those who want to try it on Google Early Access on Google Play Store?
What I want to say is, it's a match 3 game. It's easy to play. Just try it and battle with your parents.
Battle with your parents? Why would you say that?
Because match 3 game has generally been stigmatized as older people who play it. So they are good at it. So why not challenge them? Because now you can say, hey, I'm better at you than you. You cannot prove it.
Okay, that is actually fair enough. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much to Rico for coming by here to IGN House Call. And as usual, keep it locked on IGN. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.